Welcome back to another episode of Taylor Talk Celtics, and we've got, I wouldn't call it an emergency podcast, but it's a somber podcast because Marcus Smart is being bought out by the Washington Wizards and is apparently heading over to the Lakers on a 2-year, $11 million deal. I repeat, the heart and soul of the Celtics rebuild, the guy that took the Celtics to the 2022 NBA Finals as their lead ball handling guard, Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year that same season, is teaming up with LeBron James and Luka Doncic, and that just makes me really, really sad. I'm joined by a longtime friend of mine. I've done countless podcasts together. He's jumping on here to make his Taylor Talk Celtics debut. Well, is the first time, won't be the last. My boy, my homie, Mr. Cody Shalafu. What's popping, Cody?
Well, it was popping really a lot better until I got that. It's like, hey, can we record about this Marcus Smart news?
Yeah.
I said, what Marcus Smart news? I was upstairs watching the video, and now I'm set.
Watching a video upstairs on your own. Oh, Cody, you just told on yourself, bro.
I did. I guess I did.
Just told on yourself.
We're all adults here. What are you doing? But yeah, Marcus Smart's on the Lakers. I feel like every sport you watch is always, you have a favorite player, and there's always one team. Whatever you do, if you're not going to be here, I get the newfangled economy of sports. Like, players just don't stay with one team forever anymore. There's one or two teams, like, just don't go there. And this is the one team, just don't go there. But here we are. We're living in a world where Luka Doncic and Marcus Smart, my favorite players, are playing for my least favorite team. So personally, I feel attacked. I feel like this is against me, but what can we do?
I think for me, the biggest point is, like, if you've been with the Celtics, like, even if you're drafted by Boston, if you've only been there 2 or 3 years and then you wind up on the Lakers, then so be it. If you do a rondo where you've won a chip and then you've bounced around a few teams and then you end up on the Lakers, so be it. And I get kind of what Smart did. He bounced from Memphis to Washington. Now he's in, but it's like Smart was such a big part for over a decade, really, and really built himself up into this position where Celtics fans were at war with each other. You didn't like Marcus Smart, you were in for it. I'd been on both ends of that. I'd been on the ends where I'd been like, do you know what, Smart had a bad season, yada yada yada. I got the wolf pack came for me. I had times where I was like, Smart had a good season, a different wolf pack came for me. Like, he was such an impactful and important guy to that, like, the rebuild of this team and their journey into a chip, that this feels dirty. This feels like you broke up with your girl and then you see her out with your brother 2 weeks later, but your brother didn't tell you shit. That's how this feels.
It feels, I mean, again, to peel back the layer, like, we're fans of these teams. These players aren't fans of these teams. This is their life. Like, Marcus Smart grew up in Texas, has probably, like most people, probably grew up a Lakers fan, or a lot of players do. But we here in Boston, we here who are fans of the Celtics, obviously, it's like, why would you ever go to the Lakers? But for these guys, these are still livelihood. Marcus Smart is probably one of the few teams that was poking around for him, that he could play, maybe get like a decent role on the team, and also have championship aspirations. Say what you will about the Lakers roster and how, this probably isn't like a fantastic team. They still have LeBron James, still have Luka Doncic. I mean, we say how bad they're going to be, and then they find themselves in the playoffs. You get hot at the right time. You never know. So, he's doing what's best for him, so you can always salute that. But, yeah, it does. It's like the one team, just don't go there. It's so bad, especially for myself. Marcus Smart was my favorite college player. Like, I got really into college basketball around the time Marcus Smart came into the fray. He instantly was, like, my favorite player. And when he got drafted by the Celtics, it was like the second time ever I was watching the draft. Like, I hope they get this guy in the action I wanted. And as polarizing of a Celtic as I've seen in years, and maybe by my entire fandom going back past, like, at least decade plus, watching this team as a 26-year-old, watching when it was back in 10, there haven't been many players where it is, you're either ride or die, or you'd want to die because this guy is on the court. And the years he gave to the Celtics, the years he gave us, you can't talk about Marcus Smart without talking about both sides of the equation. He won you games because he was Marcus Smart. He lost you games because he was Marcus Smart. And that's the only way to talk about it. So I love Marcus Smart. I wish him all the best, but I wish him even better if you thought a different team, I guess.
Man, look, from a contractual standpoint, I get it. Smart was coming into the last year of his deal. He'd missed you know, I think he's played something stupid like 34 or 50 games over the last 2 seasons or something
Yeah,
crazy.
I
It was
have the
19 in
number.
Memphis.
Yeah, 20 in Memphis and
There we go.
20 the first year out of Boston. Played 34 last year. Really even played.
Yep, so
He's
50,
gotten
60 games.
like 15 starts in that time too.
Yeah,
So like he
it's
really
just
has
not been great. Coming into the last year of this deal that he's on, he would have been an unrestricted free agent in the summer. Another injury hit year, or even worse, maybe he was healthy and the Wizards just don't find time for him because they're going young and they're trying to rebuild around their guys. It makes sense. Maybe you keep Marcus on the bench, control his minutes, blah, blah, blah. That could have really hurt him coming into next summer, especially like we've seen it this year where there's just not really a lot of cap space around the league. Teams don't really want to spend on free agents. It's the new CBA seems to have made it more of a trade heavy transaction in the league now. So when you're Smart and you're coming off 2 injury years and there's no guarantee you're going to get consistent minutes for a team that's trying to lose, trying to rebuild, trying to develop their young guys, this buyout makes perfect sense. And now you go and sign a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Lakers to get back into a position where you can contend for a championship, where you can be back in a position where you're going to have a guaranteed role, and where all of a sudden you don't fit the timeline perfectly, because we've heard loads about how this Lakers team's now Luka's team and they're trying to get younger. And you could see that with the way they kind of moved on from Dorian Finney-Smith and then picked up Jake LaRavia just to try and get younger that way. I think that when you're looking at everything that they're doing there, that makes sense to me. From Smart's perspective, like the money makes sense. It's not great money, but like it's enough money. You're going to be in LA. You probably find somewhere. No, it's not enough. You're probably going to spend that on a house. Let's be honest. But in terms of like stability and having an opportunity to still get that ring, like the one thing that must have, and you mentioned it, just like he was there for so long and meant so much. The one thing that must have killed him was the year you leave is the year they win.
Yeah, no, that sucked.
That must have fucking stung, dude.
Right. Like it feels like, I know you're not a baseball guy, Red Sox fan, but Nomar Garcia, like Nomar Garcia Parra for the Red Sox, you heard that name. Like he was drafted by the team. Like he was one of the best players in the league, like better than Smart was in relevance to the league. He got traded the year the Red Sox broke their 86-year curse. So he technically was on the team, technically gets a ring, but was traded before they actually, that's how it feels, especially coming from like a fan. Now, Marcus Smart, not the player that Nomar was, even though it's different sports, apples, oranges, but still just like he was like you said, he was the face of the rebuild. The Celtics rebuild, quote unquote, it was more of a retool. They had one bad year, got Marcus Smart, and then immediately went into
never missed the playoffs. As long as Smart was on that team.
Never missed the playoffs, and you can make the cases. They made a couple Eastern Conference Finals with a team that maybe not was an Eastern way the East was, and you run into LeBron every year. Like you were watching basketball in May very consistently with Marcus Smart being kind of the face of that. And once you found out, he's not going to be a superstar, but he's going to be one of the better defenders in the league, if not the best defender at the league at his position or at his position group. On top of, he'll have games where he'll go nuclear. He'll have games he'll go 0 for 13 from 3, and he'll be insistent he's taking the last shot. But again, that's just Marcus Smart. But on a Lakers standpoint, looking at this team, I have the roster pulled up. I mean, let's say if he just slots in there, gives you 18 to 20 minutes, can be like a backup guard or even go into some possessions late defensively for Luka when they're playing like the foul game, and you take Luka out defensively, put Marcus Smart in and do that swap. Or even in roles where, as long as Marcus Smart can just hit open 3 when passed to and play defense, like we're not asking him to be the starter. You're not asking him to run the point or run the second unit. You're asking him to come in and play defense and give that Marcus Smart energy and hustle that maybe you look at this team that has a LeBron and a Luka and a DeAndre, and you're like, well, that might be the one thing missing between all 3 of those guys, that they just don't have that hustle or drive anymore, at least to that level that Marcus says, which is unconscious, 1,012% motor at all times. Go in there, change the pace of the game. You're getting blown out by 15 after the first quarter because you have one of those games. Throw Marcus Smart out there, ruffle a few feathers, maybe get the boys back. I'm not saying he's going to go out there, play 25 minutes, be a 6-man of the year candidate, but if you can pick and choose your spots and give some help defensively for Luka, putting him on the wing and just have him spot up, like I think that's for what the Lakers are cap-wise and what the Lakers can get in terms of guys to just have that role. there's not many better guys I think that can do that.
Yeah, in terms of, as you just put it, in terms of like positional viability, I wouldn't say positional viability at the price point he's coming in at. How many times do you get the opportunity to land a former defensive player of the year for like 5.5 mil?
Yeah, no,
It just doesn't happen.
Sense, yeah.
And like, look, there are the risks. Obviously, Smart's playing with that glass in his hand. We all know the story. There are risks that, you know, the Lakers are rolling the dice here because he's barely played for 2 years. There's a world where this doesn't work out very well for anybody. And we're talking about a Marcus Smart early retirement. There is that world where you have to kind of at least admit it's a possibility. But if everything goes well, and if Smart can do what you said and slide into rotations where you take Luka out so you can play the foul game, or slide in late to give you some extra defense, and then if he can just run the second unit and cover for Austin Reeves' defensive liabilities, or slide into that starting five and cover for James when LeBron's getting older, dude. He's still great offensively, but that defensive slippage is real. Luka is a one-sided player. I mean, you can say that he's not, but if we're being honest with ourselves, his defense has got a bit better, but it's still bad. Yeah. Now you can have a Marcus Smart there that can kind of not plug all of the holes, but at least be there where you can rotate him over. He's going to take the charge, put his body on the line. He's going to hustle for the ball. He's going to bring a lot. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was kind of hoping that the Celtics would have picked him back up off the free agent market. And I'd seen some rumors, people like, oh, you know, the Celtics will try and bring him back if they can move on from Simons and whatever. And I was kind of leaning into that. If you're going to have a down year, the guy you want leading that charge is Marcus Smart. Now, whether him and Joe have got something, I don't know whether there's something between him and Joe Mazzulla. Joe gets promoted, Marcus is gone in a year. I doubt it. Joe seems like he's pretty chill with everybody.
Yeah.
What I will say is, I don't know if you saw the Mark J. Spears report. It was about a week ago now, I think it was, over on it was on ESPN NBA Today. And he was talking about Horford's free agency. And obviously the number one thing at the moment is Horford was meant to sign with the Golden State Warriors, hasn't signed yet. The team was expecting him to have signed by now. Mark J. Spears mentioned the Lakers as a potential team that have shown registered interest in Horford. And now you go and pick up Marcus Smart. Is there a world where you can get out? Now, the problem is the Lakers are using the full biannual exception to pay Smart's contract. That's going to hard cap them at the 1st April. So if they wanted to pick up Horford, one, it'd need to be on a veteran minimum, and two, they might need to shake a guy loose just to be able to fit him in. I don't think it's going to happen, but if you want to give the Celtics like a proper killer blow to like see Smart and Horford land in LA this summer, like, dude, at that point, don't even play the season, man. Like,
yeah,
it's just
I mean, if
rough before it begins.
If you want to see my name on the news, the Lakers sign out Horford. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the money works. I know that, you know, you probably have a whole better understanding how the money works. I think they re-signed Jackson Hayes. I think that kind of is there, like, all right, we're comfortable with him as the backup five or the backup big. That kind of sealed that. Right now they have 16 players on the roster, 17 if you add Marcus Smart. I don't know if there's any. I have the Sport Track financial roster up, so I don't really know. They don't have Smart on there yet. But
they move fast, but not that fast.
No, they move fast, not that fast. I just picked kind of see how.
Shout out Keith Smith, by the way.
Yeah, shout out Keith Smith, the CBA, the money guru. But yeah, I think it's interesting with Horford. For me, I'm curious. I know this is the Smart topic, but your thoughts on how Al's leaving? If you have hold any animosity, I don't. I kind of view it as, you know, we're clearly not competing, but we clearly don't have the championship aspirations
DNA right now
with a 0 out. 1-0 comes back. Hopefully he's all healthy and all good. And then you kind of kindle that. And clearly this offseason is building for that 2026-27 year when you do have Tatum and Brown or whatever all back in the mix. But yeah, I think signing Smart seems like the guards and their wings on the roster, like Gabe Vincent. What are you getting out of Gabe Vincent? Is Bronny James? We've seen him look okay. Like, is he going to be
I mean, just to cut you, if you wanted a mentor for Bronny, just the way Bronny plays, Marcus Smart is that guy. Yeah. Like, if you want to look at it from that lens, like, if you want to teach Bronny how to build on that tenacity that he brings, that positional versatility in terms of defense, being able to guard up a couple of positions, the the way that he's willing to throw his body on the floor, if you want to kind of hone that and build his identity around that, Marcus Smart is the guy to do that for you.
Yeah.
Bringing him in and letting him kind of teach Bronny the dark arts, if you want, like this is what you need to do when you rotate over here. Just little nuances. That's smart, dude. And like, you can use that in two ways, right? Like that's smart as in that's Marcus Smart to do that for you, but it's also smart in bringing in Marcus to be that mentor for Bronny. Wouldn't be surprised if LeBron kind of sounded him out for that, to be quite honest.
Maybe. And again, Marcus, he's 30 he's probably going to be on the run. I think he's going to have a rough 30s. I don't see, hopefully not. I'd love to see him play.
He's nearly 32. It's been rough so far.
Yeah, already it's been rough over the end, but like even not to sound, maybe he teaches the bigs how to play. I've never seen a guard play better big.
Maybe Drew. Maybe Drew, to be fair.
Yeah, Drew. Well, it's great. We got like the same guy, but it was fun defensively. But a guy like Jackson Hayes, right? If you're comfortable, like, all right, hey, he's a bouncy rim runner type. He's young. He's only 25, but it feels like he's been in the league for 10 years. So a lot of these guys have, because they all come in at 18, 19, and already he hasn't got the second contract. It's all been minimums and things like that. I don't think a guy like Jackson Hayes be like, hey, Marcus, like, show him how to like work on the block. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like that's an 8% like chance of that, but who knows? Like maybe like
Smart's the guy that's going to come in and there's going to be, and like, look, LeBron, there's a level of accountability that comes with playing next to LeBron. There is, because the media shines bright. There's expectations on any team that has LeBron. You add Luka to the mix, and now there's a new level of accountability. But Smart's that dude that where there is accountability, sometimes you're still not held accountable. Smart's that dude that'll call you out on the fucking spot. He's not going to wait. He's not going to care if the cameras are rolling. He's not going to care if it's in the middle of the floor, in the locker room, like a team meal. He's putting you in your motherfucking place. And I think that's going to be a really important thing, because he's such a culture guy, right? Like, you bring him in to set a culture. I think that's a big addition for the Lakers. And I hate this. I hate the fact that we're praising a pickup for the Lakers. That's not good.
It's interesting because he will call you out. And you have guys on this roster who a lot of their really isn't the question. A guy like DeAndre in the biggest, like, how talented is that kid? How much of a non-factor has he been at most of his career? Because, like, there was a thing, like, they asked him, like, what's success in the NBA look like for you? The second contract. And, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you're playing basketball, go get your money, a la Carmelo Anthony, like, fine. It's okay. But if you're a guy that's going out there trying to win a championship, like, if Marcus Smart gets into it with DeAndre and like, hey, you're not hustling, you're not doing it, what does Ayton do? Does he turn it around and be like, you know what, you're right? Or does he physically turn around and be like, I don't care? Like, that could be a big breaking point. Like, if you get hustle out of DeAndre Ayton and you can kind of really maximize that, not saying he's going to be a 27-14 guy like maybe some people thought coming out of the draft with him, but if you can just, like, give that energy, give that effort defensively, and he gets rebounds and gets points, but it seemed like empty calorie stuff. Does that push him? I'm not saying that Luka Doncic is going to now get on the floor, but maybe that getting on his ass like that, quite frankly, helps. Or maybe they ignore him and Marcus Smart is yelling in a room by himself and it all goes terribly, which I hope, because then the Lakers don't win things. That'd be nice. But
that's the hard part of it, right? Like, are you right? Like, what do you do now? Do you root for Marcus, which in turn means you're rooting for the Lakers? Or do you root against the Lakers, which in turn means you're hoping Marcus fails?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, again, there aren't many people who love Marcus Smart the way I do. There's no one who loves Romeo Langford.
I was about to bring this up.
But
do you still have your poem?
People that love Marcus Smart the way I do. But again, that comes with baggage of Marcus Smart. And I don't know. I hope he does well, unless he plays against the Celtics and, he gets to the playoffs, cool, he gets bounced, fun. And if he proves his worth and proves like, hey, I can stick around and be like a contributing bench piece to a team for the next 3, 4, 5 years even, perfect. You get more Marcus Smart. If he doesn't win a championship wearing purple and gold, great. He'll win one virtually anywhere else other than like Philadelphia or New York.
Fantastic.
Correct. But again, you mentioned it before, in a perfect world, we are celebrating banner 19 and we're throwing Marcus Smart on the end of the bench just because. But this isn't the perfect world, apparently. We're still looking for it.
Man, we're in such a weird alternate universe. I'm waiting for the Celtics to bring in Isaiah Thomas back for a bench, a vet minimum for the year. That's where I feel like this is heading, dude.
Yeah, like Portland on fire.
Brad's like, yo, we've got an underperforming young team. We need some magic. Let's bring IT back at nearly 75. With that being said, everyone, man, if you're not following Cody is criminally underfollowed on social media. Criminally. I don't think that number's ever changed in like the decade that we've been recording together.
Yeah, maybe. I think I got 300 people that want to hear me about the Red Sox.
Yeah, criminally. So go and change that. Like, go change it. Cody, what's your handle?
If you are so inclined, it is Cody Shalafu 33. I don't know if you see my handle on the screen, but spelled just that way with 2 3s because, Larry Bird's cool. Marcus Smart wore 33 in college. Fun fact.
With that, everyone make sure you're signing up to the Celtics Chronicle newsletter. There will be a Marcus Smart piece coming out tomorrow now. I don't know what it's going to be. If it's not tomorrow, it'll be Monday. It'll be one of the two. And make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel, of course. Cody is also a broadcaster. We should be seeing him doing bigger and better things anytime soon. But Cody, man, where are you going to be calling games this year coming?
So I will be going to the Division 2 ranks this year. Still staking around Division 3, just checking it out. So, moving onward and upward. Drew Carter's an ESPN guy. Who knows how long he's actually with the team. So if you are in the Celtics front office and need a voice, let me know. I got you.
And with that, everybody, we'll catch you soon. Deuces.